Hello and welcome again. We're back with this time episode 4 of Antigone, and we find Antigone in a scene. This is what the ancients called the komos or lamenting scene, which some people say is part of the structure. Uh, Antigone is here lamenting her fate, comparing herself to Niobe, the woman who had lost all of her children. She has lost all of her family now, and so she's lamenting this family curse. She isn't railing at Creon here necessarily, but at the curse that haunts the house of Labdacus. She said that's Labdacus is the grandfather of her father and her brother Oedipus. Um, she calls out to her dead family, and then now this is part of the theme that in a way a lot of things that Creon taunt her with are true of her, and that is that she has a solidarity with the dead more than the living, and so he exemplifies that by his punishment, which is to place her living in the tomb. And there's a kind of a Sophoclean symmetry to that in fact, if the impiety of Creon vis-a-vis Polynices is to treat a dead corpse as if he were alive by leaving him above ground, he does the reverse then for Antigone, treating a live person as dead by placing her living in the tomb, although he says that's because she's in solidarity with the dead. But this is the interesting thing that she says. It's on page 372 in this edition, if you have the same pagination, and she says something curious about her actions. She's depicted as being this firebrand, as having this personality of this revolutionary, but she says that if I had been married, I would not have done that. That this role was forced on me. No husband dead in God, no children lisping mother ever could have forced me to withstand the city to its face. By what law do I assert so much? Just this: a husband dead, another can be found, a child replaced. But once a brother's lost, mother and father dead and buried too, no other brother can be born or grows again. So this Polynices is irreplaceable. So Antigone calls on Thebes to be a witness to what she thinks is a travesty of justice, and of course it is. And the chorus trots out to give their penultimate choral ode, and just as Antigone compared herself to Niobe, and the chorus now compares her to Danae, Phineus. Tiresias arrives at the to begin the 5th episode. Episodes in the ancient Greek tragedy are demarked by, we said that the choral odes set them off, but the mark of a new episode is always the entrance of a new character. So Tiresias comes out and warns Creon that this plague is coming, that his impiety has caused irreparable harm to, not irreparable, but just harm to Thebes. And this is the wake-up call for Creon. This plague has been caused by the non-burial of Polynices. See it, how the city sickens, Creon. Think, son, think. To err is human, true. And only he is damned who, having sinned, will not repent, will not repair. And with those words, Tiresias must be a heck of a preacher, because his preaching, his words, his sermon, if you will, does convert or cause to repent Creon. Not right away. First he thinks, Tiresias, you're just after money, you're just after something. Tiresias leaves, but then Creon realizes he has time on his own to think. And this is a very noble, heroic thing. I find the greatest act of nobility, the greatest act of heroism in the play, to be this: when Creon says, with everything to lose, all of his status, he says, maybe I was wrong. It's hard to eat my words, he says, but harder still to court catastrophe through overriding pride. And so he acknowledges his pride, and so he relents. My mind's made up. I'll not be slow to let her loose myself. And this is what I was saying before. This is the most heart-wrenching tragedy, because he goes to make things better, and it's too late. He said, I'll cut her loose myself. This will be great. Everybody will be happy. Everybody will rejoice. But it's not to be, because Antigone by this time, well, is already dead. And so what happens next has to be reported by Angelos, by a messenger off stage. The messenger comes in the epilogue to tell what happened off stage. It's very, very poignant. Creon goes to make things better. Haman is there, standing over the hanged body of Antigone. Antigone has killed herself. Angry at his father, he attacks his father with his sword, but Creon evades it, and Haman falls on his sword. Now that's an ambiguity. If this were a Roman play, we would say, well, falling on your sword means doing it intentionally. Okay, but in this messenger's report, it's not quite so clear. At any rate, that is that's the end, and they live happily ever after, because that's how tragedies end, don't they? Okay. Well, at the end, we were able to put 2 episodes together, so we saved a little bit of bandwidth here. So that's it for Antigone. Thank you for joining me, and next time we'll have a regular PowerPoint like we used to. But God bless you.